And by the way, Madera County is moving into, we expect word today, sometime today, about moving into a fast track on phase 2 of the COVID situation. Our team had prepared well in advance of this prospective opportunity to fast track. They had done all the preparation necessary due to their listening ear officials and what they were saying about what would enable us to open quicker. We've been on top of this thing probably as good or better than any other county in the state of California, maybe in the country. Even the LA Times recognized the very outstanding team that was put together by EOS, the sheriff, the contact tracing that was done. We now have testing capabilities. We can perform about 130 tests a day. And so we are ready to fast track through phase 2 and open our restaurants. As soon as we get word today, our restaurants can open up with precautions. That's a big deal. We'll be one of the first to be able to say, yeah, we were prepared and we're ready to do it. So, and we're going to do it safely. That's the important thing.
Are you saying that it may happen today?
We're waiting for word to. We've got it. We have word, and we are on the fast track. So, very happy to have staff that's right on top of that. Thank you, Bob.
And exactly what does phase 2 allow you to do?
Phase 2, there are prescriptions for all of the businesses. They can get those from the public health website, or they can call public health, and public health can tell them exactly what they need to do to be able to open their business safely. But restaurants can open to in-house service. That's a big deal. There are some limitations to bars and other things can't open yet under that prescription. But this moves us closer and closer to stage 3, where you can actually have group events like sporting events and concerts, and the bars can open and various other things can happen.
So this is a must and a pleasant, I guess, answer to Oakhurst as far as them being able to open.
Yeah, Oakhurst, Madera, Chowchilla, all of the ranchos, Riverstone, all of those places around Madera County are going to benefit greatly from this. And I think it's really neat that there was a recent study by Brookings Institute that said Madera County, it named us, out of all the counties in the country, was positioned in a top position to be able to weather the recession, as it were, from this virus. So we are ready to rock in Madera County. We're ready to move forward, and we're happy that we've been in this position. So, any other questions?
Can you say it again? I didn't get that part about you guys are going to go to phase 2 right now?
We are in stage 2, and we're
2.5.
Yeah, we're fast tracking now. We're in 2.5, so we're fast tracking through stage 2. There are no guidelines as yet for stage 3, but as soon we're going to put our heads together and get our minds wrapped around what is necessary to move into that stage as those details become available, and we're going to fast track into that. And it's important. Every business in Madera County is essential, because when I talk to Joreen up in Oakhurst, and she's an older woman who's operating a business on her own. I think she's in her 70s, isn't she? Somewhere in her 60s, late 60s, 70s. And she's weeping over the phone because she can't make a living. She's trying to take care of herself. She doesn't want government help. She just wants to do her work. Man, my heart goes out to people like that, and I realize every business is essential in this county. Every business is essential. It provides a living for someone, and we've got to recognize that. It's so important.
So businesses need to contact the health department in order to get
Yes, yes. I might also add that you're probably well aware of an announcement letter, a 3-page letter that was sent by the Department of Justice to the governor's office concerning specifically places of worship. I think that's a very important point this morning that was recognized by the Department of Justice, and that is it is a constitutional right that cannot be subjugated or abrogated even during a time of crisis. Our rights don't get put aside just because of a crisis, and they never will and never should be. So it's important that whatever we frame, we do so safely, but we do it within the rights of individuals who have unabridged rights under the Constitution of the United States, unlike any other nation in the world.
Mr. Chairman, I think the sheriff may have some elaborate a little bit.
Go ahead.
So just a point of clarification. So what Chairman Rogers is referring to as the fast track is really we're moving into stage 2.5. We kind of forget the numbers because the only half stage is stage 2.5. What opens with that is the restaurants, like he mentioned, that they'll have to open in a safe manner. Retail spaces are allowed to open. It also is a time where daycare and schools will begin to consider to reopen. Almost all your school districts are having direct contact with the state superintendent's office for them all to determine how best to reconvene classes, probably, I'll call it at a normal time, August-ish. So with that, about a week ago we went out and canvassed almost all of our businesses with what the expectations are from the health department. They're not orders, they're guidelines. We distributed posters to the businesses so they have a good idea of what they can do, what they can implement, and what perhaps the expectations of their customers are going to be when they come in there. If a business owner decides you have to have a mask to come in, it's their right to implement that safely. It's not an order from us. It's their decision based on their comfort level, their customer flow, and what kind of business they maintain. So as the chairman mentioned, there are a number of businesses that are not allowed, unfortunately, under this part of the order to be open, but again, one step closer. And then I also believe that the Yosemite National Park is getting very close to submitting their plan back to, they're going to submit their plan back to Washington to open, hopefully, during the week of June 1st, but I don't think they have formally announced that or submitted that plan back to Washington yet, so it would be premature to report that they're opening then. So that's all I wanted to add.
So the ones that aren't going to open right now are the clubs, bars, and...
It'd be mostly anything that's a large gathering, like a club or a bar. Unfortunately, you're on your own for a haircut still, or your nails. There, Alex, you're going to have to do those your own. So we'll do the best we can to try to get some of the others that aren't specifically named or prohibited from these lists. Again, going back to Dr. Paul, he's been very good at trying to recognize things that meet the spirit of what we're trying to accomplish, and if it can be done safely, he will.
What would be your message to those veterinarians doing, they're the ones that are just, that are hurt right now?
Right. Well, I'll just say from the sheriff's perspective, we've focused our entire campaign during this on two things. Number one, we run the Emergency Operations Center, so our focus since March has been on rapid contact tracing. So when we get new positive cases come back, our people, other law enforcement folks from probation, the DA's office, the two police departments here, Madera and Chowchilla, other folks from public health, we've been totally contact tracing focused so that we can get folks into quarantine or isolation faster so that they come in contact with fewer people so the spread gets cut off. COVID's kind of like a weed. It comes from me to you to Sarah, and it just keeps going, right? So if you can cut it off at me, then you guys you don't have to pull out the Roundup and get rid of it, right? So with that, our focus on the business side, on the order side of things, has been to educate people and try to have them operate safely. We have not taken any citation action against anyone. However, the issue, again, with anything where there's close personal contact is very difficult, if not impossible, for Dr. Paul to think of a workaround of the state stay-at-home order when people are having very close contact with each other. We've looked at some potential business model adaptations that seem like maybe they would work, but again, with it being specifically named as no, you shouldn't, we have not pushed that forward, and we have noted that maybe not this last week, but the week prior, in some of the counties that pushed forward. Some of your state regulating agencies were going out and saying, hey, if you do this, we're going to pull your state license. So we don't want, it's a conundrum for us. We want our people to be open and make money. We do not want to push them into a situation where a state regulatory agency comes out and pulls their license.
Now, are parks and campground going to also be?
So parks are open now. What the issue is in the parks is any kind of mass gathering or large group gathering or people who aren't social distance. I mean, families, obviously, you're fine, but we don't want men that don't know each other hanging out with each other, because that's going to cause, the best way to think of it is if you've been certain places and I've been, we talk with Alex, then in a way, every place you and I have been and every person that you and I have come into contact with, if it's possible to spread COVID, now Alex has been exposed to those places too. So maybe you and I are asymptomatic and COVID positive, but Alex actually gets it and ends up with bad symptoms. So the parks are open. Many places are working on getting camping back open. Certainly with ourselves, Mariposa and Tuolumne, who we've been working with as a region, there's just an incredible amount of state forest land in those areas, and people are, they're just, you can't lock down an area like that, so they are going out and camping. Obviously, we'd prefer they don't at this point. However, we have prepared a letter as a region to send to the governor to say, hey, look, we've got to get this back open so that it's run properly. Otherwise, it's just run amok. So that's one of the things I would ask people out there. Hey, just because there's COVID doesn't mean that, it's just everything is a free-for-all. The first couple weeks on Bass Lake, some of the boat operators, we had to take some enforcement action because people just seem to be acting a little bit outside of the normal realm of safe operation there.